Hi, for today I'll be discussing about the Negro problems of Philadelphia, the questions of earning a living in color prejudice by William Edward Beauregard Dubois. So this discussion is about Philadelphia. As we can see here, Philadelphia racial and ethnic composition has changed noticeably since 1992 up to 1920. As you can see in the legend, there are non-Hispanic white, Black or African American, Hispanic, Asian, and the rest are others. The non-Hispanic white share of the city population shrunk from just over half, roughly a third in the year 2000 or in these modern times. The latest year for which data was available, and the Hispanic and Asian shares nearly tripled during these times. The share of Black African American residents has remained relatively stable. So as you can see in this legend, we can see the rising numbers of non-Hispanic white from 1990 to 2020 according to the US Census Bureau 1990, 2000, and 2010 up to 2020 decennial census report. So here is about William Edward Beauregard Dubois. So who is Dubois? So let's discuss first. So he is a professor, an editor, an author, a novelist, playwright, and politician, as he made notable contributions in history, sociology, ethnic studies, literature, politics, and other fields. During his long and varied career, he was a pan-activist who activated solidarity among Black. Pan-activist was ibig sabihin, they were attempt to create a sense of brotherhood and a collaboration among the people either inside or outside the African. Next, he writes the children's book that taught Black pride and a world political figure who urged United Nations protection for Black Americans as the nation within a nation. He also, one of the two wealthy leaders of Philadelphia society, suggested a study of Negros in the 7th Ward. Ito yung 7th Ward, ito yung area sa Philadelphia na city siya ng mga Negros. Big population siya ng mga Negros sa Philadelphia. Dubois was given one-year appointment as assistant instructor in the sociology department at the University of Pennsylvania, living with his family. So next, as we discuss the Negro problems of Philadelphia, these are the four main pressing problems that existed in Philadelphia for the Negros. First, we have poverty. The second is the ignorance. Third is the crime. And fourth is the labor. So in the case of the Negresses, the segregation is more conspicuous, more patent at the eyes, and so intertwined with a long historic evolution where peculiarly present social problems, like all these four, like poverty, ignorance, crime, and labor. So next, as we discuss the Negro problems, we will be focusing on the earning questions of earning a living. So for a group of freedmen, the questions of economic survival is the most pressing of all the questions. Yung pinaka-problema talaga ng mga Negros is yung nararanasan nila in terms of economic or financial stability dahil lang sa race nila, which is they are Negro in Pennsylvania. The problem is how under some circumstances of modern life, any group of people can earn a decent living so as to maintain their standard of life, is not always easy to answer. But when the question is complicated by the fact that the group has a low degree of efficiency on account of previous training, it is in competition with well-trained, eager, and often ruthless competitors. Yung competitors na ibig sabihin nila dito is yung mga white Americans, which is makikita talaga yung separation ng white Americans and the Negros in Pennsylvania. Is more or less handicapped by somewhat wide-reaching discrimination. So yun na nga yung discrimination na nararanasan nila is naga-transcend siya sa way of life nila kasi mas nahihirapan sila na makahanap ng mas stable na trabaho or mas kahit na fit pa sila sa trabaho nila kasi dahil nga sa race nila is nadi-discriminate sila. That's why nahihirapan sila sa paghanap ng mga trabaho or kung paano pa Manila masusuportahan yung pamilya nila. So here, next is we'll be discussing about the color of prejudice that we have listed according to Dubois, which we have 6. So first, as to getting work. So no matter how well trained a Negro may be or how fitted for work of any kind, he cannot in ordinary course of competition hope too much more than a menial servant. So, sa paghahanap ng trabaho, yung mga negro kahit na gaano pa sila credible or gaano pa sila compatible sa trabaho o gaano pa sila ka-fit sa trabaho, nagiging struggle pa rin nila kasi nga na-discriminate sila and mas piniprefer yung mga hindi negro sa yung pag-hire ng mga employers sa kanila. So, in this way, nahihirapan sila na makahanap ng mga trabaho or mga opportunities na fit naman sa kanila pero yun na nga hindi sila like diniscredit yung ability nila just because they are Negros. So next is as to keeping work. The Negro suffers in competition more severely than white. So yun na nga mas favor yung mga opportunities sa mga white men rather than the Negros. So makikita talaga yung discrepancy yung discrimination sa part na yun sa paghahanap ng trabaho at saka pag-maintain nila ng trabaho kasi yung white men and the Negros palagi silang kino-compare. So change in fashion causing him to be replaced by whites in the better paid positions of domestic services. Individual black workman is rated not only by his own efficiency, but by efficiency of a whole group of black fellow workmen, which is often below. So, hindi lang din nakabase yung pag-hire nila sa mga Negros kung gaano sila ka-efficient. Binabase din nila kung gaano ka-efficient yung mga group, which is the black groups, kung gaano sila as a group mag-perform ng trabaho nila, hindi lang naka-base sa isang efficiency ng isang tao. So next, we have here as to entering new lines of work. Men are used to seeing Negros in inferior positions. When, therefore, by any chance, a Negro gets in a better position, most men immediately conclude that he is not fitted for it. So yun na nga, yung parang binababa nila ang baba ng tingin nila sa mga Negros, tapos pag makakuha sila naman ng trabaho, parang para sa kanila parang hindi sila fit kahit na naman they are compatible enough they are comfortable enough sa trabaho nila, they are fitted enough, hindi pa rin mawawala yung discrimination in a way kasi nga negro sila, so dinidiscriminate pa rin sila kahit na fit sila doon sa trabaho nila. As to his expenditure. So, the comparative smallness of the patronage of the Negro and the dislikes of other customers makes it usual to increase the charge or difficulties in certain directions in which Negro must spend money. Sa pagdating naman sa mga bilihin or mas mahal yung charge nila sa mga Negros. So, doon na nga makikita natin yung paghihirap talaga nila. Like, parang iniipit sila para lang, dahil nga, Negro sila, grabe yung discrimination sa kanila just because they are Negros. In terms of expenditure nila, mas mahal yung charge or mga bilihin sa kanila. Next, as to his children. So the Negro finds it extremely difficult to rear children in such an atmosphere and not have them either cringing or imprudent. Nakaapekto din yung sa pag-ano nila, sa pag-raise nila ng mga anak nila kasi yun na nga, yung naranasan nilang discrimination parang nasasalin din sa mga anak nila like so mas masakit pa yun sa kanila kasi yung yung discrimination na na-feel nila is na-feel din ng mga anak nila. Not in a way lang na in terms of the economic opportunities pero mas yung sa emotional na impact sa mga anak nila. Isa din 'yun sa mga struggles ng mga Negros. And lastly, as the social intercourse. In all walks of life, the Negro is liable to meet some objection to his presence or some discourteous treatment. And the ties of friendship or memory seldom are strong enough to hold across the color line. So, isa na din sa um, pinaka-biggest na issue ng mga Negros is yung how they interact with other race kasi yun na nga yung super rampant yung discrimination sa kanila. So, super nahihirapan sila sa pag-build down ng connections with other races kasi nga they are being discriminated by the other race. And yun daw yung isa sa mga super struggles ng mga Negros sa Philadelphia. So this would be all for the the problems of Negro in Philadelphia. Thank you.